All right. The Washington football team named Tanya Snyder as the co-CEO of the team. She is the wife of owner Dan Snyder, and this move makes her one of the few women to serve in a role such as this in the NFL. Drew, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's a pretty big week in the NFL, right? You get additional female leadership. We talked last week about Nassib for the Raiders having the first openly gay player. The NFL is making strides all the way around. Now, what remains to be seen is if that improves the Washington football team and that level of dysfunction in any way, shape, or form. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But good for her.
It seemed like it was a publicity stunt more than anything to me. Everything that Dan Snyder does just seems like a very thinly veiled fuck you to like woke culture and like everything else going on in the NFL today. Just like calling them the Washington football team. Like, oh, fine, Redskins is offensive. I'm just going to call us football team. Like, oh, you were misogynist against women. Guess what? CEO. And like, and she doesn't really have any like serious background in anything related to being the CEO of a football team. She's been like heading up all of their charitable efforts and things like that. She's been doing some great work. I'm not trying to disparage that at all, but I don't know. I always think the worst of what Dan Snyder's trying to do. And with something like this, it just feels like another, I don't know, tongue-in-cheek move. Grant, good to have you, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Quick aside, am I the only guy that when somebody mentions Dan Snyder, him and Neil Caputo from Fox Business are completely interchangeable to me? Like, I have no idea. I just picture that person.
I like it. Maybe a Darren Rovell action potentially.
Yeah.
Totally see that. Totally see that.
It's good stuff.
Oh, hey Grant, how do you feel about Mr. Snyder jumping on it with the Washington football team?
So the role of CEO, right? CEO.
Yes.
So co-CEO. Co-CEO. Oh, that's nice. That's nice for her. Jeez. Yeah. But as CEO, you kind of have oversee things. You're not too involved in things. You kind of have this. You're responsible for the outcomes and not so much the processes. So I don't know. It's definitely a PR thing. It's definitely a save face. We're turning over a new leaf. This is like our entire organization's quality control. Position now. But anyway, I hope it works out. I think it's a step in the right direction as you look at that organization outside looking in, and it was just like a cesspool of, a terrible environment. So go get him.
Wasn't there a lot of like allegations coming out of there about like a pretty toxic workplace towards women in general? Wasn't that a thing?
That was the whole thing. That was the entire thing. All of the, I think even touching issues like with Dan Snyder implicated directly. So yeah.
So that's what it was. She was like, I will literally take half of your stuff. Like I want to be in the building. I want my hands on everything. She is going to actually oversee all of Dan's daily activities at this point.
Well, when I hear Dan Snyder, I think of like the movie Porky's. If you guys remember this, so like with like this peeking into the shower situation, that's what comes to mind is the movie Porky's. So
I dig it.